Now, I feel like the thing about having a closed mind that people don't really understand is that essentially, if you're a closed minded individual, bro, you're essentially gonna believe everything that you're told. You know what I'm saying? If it makes sense to you, you're gonna believe it without even questioning it. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem with closed minded individuals. Like, they don't actually question things for how they are. They just accept that them as the truth. This video, I basically want to talk about, bro, like, it's so important to open up your mind and stop becoming a closed-minded individual. Because, bro, if you're a closed-minded individual, that essentially means that you believe everything that this individual says. You believe everything that the government says. Like, you're not open to new ideas, essentially. You're not open to a new perspective of life. You know what I'm saying? Because you're so entitled into this perspective of life that your parents taught you, that you've been programmed of living since you were a kid. Now, my definition of having a closed mind is, and an open mind is, bro, if you have a closed mind, simply put it, is you're willing to accept anything as the truth. Like, you're essentially a sheep in a way. You're not willing to accept new ideas, ideologies, and perspectives on life. That's essentially what it means to have a closed mind, in my opinion. And honestly, bro, having an open mind is simply just being curious. You know what I'm saying? Simply not accepting things for how they are. Dude, bro, when I tell you, like, when I really started to open up my mind last year, bro, it was really deep. Like, I just really just started to look from life from a really deep perspective, from like a more open-minded perspective, bro. I ain't gonna lie, it wasn't even a meditation or nothing. It was just like, it was just really deep, bro. I was just really in my thoughts about everything, and that process kind of made me open up my mind more. You know what I'm saying? Made me open up my mind to new perspectives and ideologies of life, and essentially apply them to how I'm living right now. Like, dude, actually start being curious, bro. Like, start questioning things that you've been taught since childhood, bro. Whether it's the religion you've been taught, whether if it's the diet that you've been taught, whether it's just been anything you've been taught, bro. Question those things for yourself. And if they don't make sense to you, then, bro, why are you doing it? You know what I'm saying? Don't be the sheep. Be an open-minded individual, bro. Don't be the closed-minded individuals. Like, bro, if your intuition is telling you that something doesn't make sense, listen to that God feeling, bro. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the God within. If something, like, bro, I'm gonna say this because I feel like this is something I used to do, and I feel like it's something that majority of people still do, bro. If it doesn't make sense to you, but everyone else thinks it makes sense, bro, do not follow the crowd and go along with what they say. Bro, stand out. You know what I'm saying? Do not become the same as everyone else, because if you go the same path and route as everyone else, you're essentially gonna end up like everyone else. Be the individual that stands out, bro. Be someone who thinks of life from a deep perspective, my boy. Like, I don't think people understand the importance of looking at life from an open-minded perspective, because, bro, you're open-minded enough to understand other people's feelings. You know what I'm saying? Other people's religions. You're open-minded enough to understand other people's perspectives and ideologies. Not even just the fact that you, what the, and I feel like we all know, not really understand, but we all know what empathy is. One of the most core, like, one of the most essential core values, right? And I actually feel like being more open-minded, bro, will actually will make you have more empathy, because, like, bro, you understand what this individual is coming from. You understand what they saying. You may not necessarily agree with them. That's totally fine, but you understand what they saying. You understand where they coming from. This is why it's so important to have an open mind, because not only will you understand other people's feelings, but, bro, you'll also gain more empathy towards other people. Like, bro, I'm gonna take me as an example. Like, bro, if something does not make sense to me, like, if my intuition is telling me that it doesn't make sense, I'm gonna question it. Simple, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's been documented in history. I don't care. I'm gonna research it. I'm gonna look at it to find out the truth for myself. I'm not gonna rely on, quote unquote, the truth from U.S. government officials and all these government big shots. Like, no, because it's like, bro, I need to find out for myself to really verify whether this is true or false. And you also gotta understand, like, bro, I'm like, I've always been a curious person since birth, to be honest. But I feel like once I started to become more open-minded, like, it really skyrocketed, bro. Because you have to understand, like, bro, I'm not no damn slave, all right? Like, I'm not a mental slave. Like, I'm gonna ask questions if things do not make sense to me. Like, I'm open-minded enough, okay, to understand that, like, this doesn't make sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if nobody wants to ask the question. I will. If things don't make sense to me, I just simply either won't believe it or I'm just going to keep on questioning it. Whether if nobody else will or whatever the case may be, I'm going to be the one that stands out and asks those type of questions, because these are the type of questions I need to be answered and heard. And I'm going to keep it as real as possible. Like, I'm going to be as authentic as can be. Like, and this is just my personal opinion, but bro, when it came to Christianity and religion, bro, like my soul, like I've never really resonated with religion as much as I've resonated with things like spirituality and things of that nature. There's just some concepts and things about Christianity that to me personally just don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? These are questions I've been having about the religion, and I've never really came to a conclusive answer to them. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's just my personal opinion. I ain't trying to trigger nobody, you know what I'm saying? But it's just me personally. Like, I never truly divinely resonated with religion, bro. Not just Christianity, but just the concept of religion overall, and just worshiping someone. Like, it's never really resonated with me, bro. I'm gonna keep it real. Like I said earlier, like, there's just a lot of questions I have that I've never really found a conclusive, definitive answer to. And I'm just using me as an example to really show you, like, bro, you need to start looking at life from an open perspective, bro. This will give you so much more empathy, because you're able to understand other people's feelings, their perspectives, and ideologies. Because it's like, bro, I'm open-minded enough to understand some individuals, right? Like, even individuals that may not be on the same type of timing as me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to be with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to be there. I used to be eating donuts. Like, I never would have ever thought, like, I would have quit eating meat. You know what I'm saying? So I'm open-minded enough to understand where people came from. To even if I don't necessarily agree with what they're telling me, it's like, okay, I understand where they're coming from, but I don't necessarily agree. But okay, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I understand. That's just my mindset, because I'm so open-minded enough to understand other people's feelings. It's like, bro, and if you truly want to become the best version of yourself, bro, you got to be curious. You can't just accept things for the way that they are. Like, you got to ask questions. Like, if things don't make sense to you, like I said earlier, you got to ask those questions that nobody else is asking, my boy. Because, bro, if nobody's asking those questions, then that means everyone wants to be a damn sheep. And we not trying to be sheep. We trying to be the best version of ourselves. And I'd honestly even go as far as saying, like, bro, opening up your mind is also another step to self-improvement. Because, dude, no way that you can become the best version of yourself and you still look at life from a closed-minded perspective, bro. There's, like, no way, bro. No way. Not happening. You gotta be curious, bro. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta ask questions. Like, if things don't make sense to you, ask those questions that nobody else is asking. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's King Wellness, and I'm out.